Hey everyone, this is Nem with Hivemind Vanguard, and I've got a clan overview for you featuring the prehistoric terrors of Cray, Tachikaze. Tachikaze has been reintroduced in the standard format of Vanguard, and my first impression after playtesting with proxies in the VEBO1 meta has been more than positive. Mixing a bit of the old with the new, Tachikaze retains its core identity by retiring their own rearguards for power and card advantage. In addition, they get a new fresh coat of paint for their effects in the form of a new mechanic, the Equip Gauge. The Equip Gauge is essentially Soul for the rearguard. When a card states to add a card to the Equip Gauge, simply take the top card of the deck and add it to the rearguard face down before looking at it. Remember, you can always confirm your own Equip Gauge, but your opponent cannot. The best way to utilize the Equip Gauge is by using skills such as Savage Raider to move any desired combo pieces or defensive cards to Laceraterex and Blightops, retire them by various skills, and pay the cost to add them to your hand. It affords for a flexible playstyle as you're able to commit from your hand early and turn it into advantage later. Like I mentioned earlier, being able to commit from the hand early can introduce good early game pressure. Even if your opponent hits defensive triggers, the rearguards that you threw down such as Sonic Noah, Blightops, and Laceraterex can still be useful next turn. Tachikaze's classification as an Excel clan allows for easier resource management as you have an additional circle to work with and retire for card effects. Through my playtesting, I have found that only one additional circle provides a huge advantage. I've hardly needed two, but two can be nice. This also means that Tachikaze is not as dependent on rewriting grade 3s for additional effects such as other Force and Protect clans. Late game, this deck gets the best of both worlds, multiple attacks and large power columns. Tachikaze can take advantage of the multi-attack aspect of being an Excel clan by throwing out 4 to 5 attacks through its additional circles. For power, Tyrant Deathrex, Savage King, and Megarex can hit large numbers without needing boosted units. All they need is food in the form of resting units that have already attacked. During the early game, it can be a little hard to build momentum if you are lacking the cards that can give you advantage early game through Equip Gauges and early attacks. Not seeing Sonic Noah, Blightops, and Laceraterex can cause you to fall behind and not have enough resources to go off late game. Like always, take advantage of your mulligan to dig for your combo cards. In general, this can be applied to late game as well. This deck is heavily combo based, relying on the units that can retire your other units. These units are Tyrant Deathrex, Megarex, and Sonic Noah. However, Sonic Noah is on hit, so it's not too consistent late game. If you do not see these units, do not expect to gain significant card advantage unless your opponent retires your Laceraterex or Blightops for you, like in the Kagero matchup. For the deck choices, Tachikaze's spot on a character booster means that the card pool is a little shallow, but thankfully the deck can be built in a way that there are no dead or suboptimal card choices. For the grade 3 lineup is an absolute must to intrude 4 of the boss monster and is number 1, Ravenous Dragon Gigarex and Tyrant Deathrex. Gigarex on attack allows you to throw 1 Equip Gauge into all your rearguards and gains power for each one. This allows for a decently sized Vanguard attack, as well as introducing resources that take advantage of the retire and draw aspect, as well as power columns stated earlier. Tyrant Deathrex can make the biggest column for the deck by himself, retiring one of your other units and gaining plus 10k for each of the retired units' Equip Gauge. Games where you see Deathrex and games where you do not feel very different in terms of making the final push for game, especially if you stack a crit on Deathrex. Even though Megarex has an automatic damage skill by removing 5 Equip Gauges, it has not come up too much in testing since you retire a lot of your units at the end of your previous battle phase. However, it can still be relevant if you save a lot of units that add Equip Gauge to themselves on call and throw those all out during the main phase. I want to give a quick mention to Savage King, another grade 3 option, who can also move Equip Gauge to itself and make a power column. A good grade 3 combo to keep in mind is to attack with Savage King to move a large amount of Equip Gauge to itself, and then retire King with Deathrex to get 2 high power attacks in one turn. Having a tight grade 3 count means the utility he provides makes him a solid one of, but not more than that. The grade 2 options are where the deck can vary the most. In my opinion, the 2 that are necessary to run 4 of is Assault Dragon Blightops and Ravenous Dragon Megarex. These 2 cards embody both sides of the same coin, one being able to retire another one of your units, and the other gaining card advantage when retired. As you've guessed, this continues to be a very common theme when balancing out the ratios of the deck build. The other grade 2 options I like to mention are Savage Raider and Assault Mammoth. Savage Raider can move around equip gauge from one unit to any other unit and provides another equip gauge on call. Assault Mammoth provides the only guard restrict aspect that this deck has, making your opponent call 2 Guardians at the same time if they want to guard the attack. Personally, I prefer running more Savage Raider as opposed to Assault Mammoth, as Savage Raider can throw more equip gauge under Blightops and Laceraterex for early game, and Assault Mammoth can't hit big numbers to take advantage of its effect unless it gets help from both an Excel Circle boost and a Trigger boost. There are very few usable grade 1s, so we will be maxing out on all of them: Sonic Noah, Vicious Claw Dragon Laceraterex, and Wing Dragon Skyptero. Sonic Noah provides the best early on-hit pressure by providing equip gauge to your monsters and retiring them for a draw. Retire Laceraterex, Blightops, or Skyptero for some pluses. Skyptero can return itself to the hand when retired during your turn for a counterblast, and Laceraterex can grab 1 card from its equip gauge to your hand for a Soul Blast after it gets retired. If you want to run more grade 1s, I would suggest looking at a promo that just came out recently, Wing Dragon Beamtero. When it's retired during your turn, it gets 3 of your units plus 3k. Obviously, you'll be running Dragon Egg as your starter, as well as the 4 Draw Sentinels, Archbird, and 4 Heals. The rest can be up to personal preference in terms of fronts and crits. I suggest 2 possible configurations: 8 crits or 6 fronts and 2 crits. Crits provide a lot of on-hit pressure from your high-number columns late game, as well as introduce a significant amount of luck sacking for early cheesing wins. However, front triggers cannot be discounted, as they'll be able to negate the effect of a defensive trigger that your opponent gets late game and allows you to still hit for good numbers with all of your units. Make sure to introduce a few crits though, especially for the surprise factor to bamboozle your opponents. Personally, I prefer full crit in my build. Finally, I want to note 2 combo-based cards that I have not mentioned: Heavy Cannon Dragon Sharinga Stego and Sharp Blade Dragon Rebel Stego. The Stego cards retire another unit for a counterblast and boost the 2 Stegos in name by 10k. However, as the grade 3 Stego does not provide an Excel gift, and the deck is already super combo based anyway, I would suggest not running these cards. Overall, this is the deck that I will be running for Tachikaze going in the Extra Booster 01 meta. Please leave any suggestions or criticism, it is greatly appreciated. To conclude, I am very excited about Standard Tachikaze. Though it is an Excel clan by classification, it can still make good power columns through its combo plays and can put a lot of pressure on the opponent while keeping your hand healthy. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Hivemind Vanguard if you'd like to see content similar to this, and I will provide my deck list in the description. Bye!